Hello, everybody. I hope that you're well. A huge welcome to my channel. I'm so excited to see you here, and of course, welcome you into this space. I'm going to just get this little bit out of the way before I start talking. But I just want to say, firstly, a huge thank you to everybody who has subscribed, who has shared my channel, who has commented, who has reached out to me. Oh my goodness, it means so much to me, and I'm just so grateful. It's really funny because I'm beyond like thinking of the numbers. And it's just so nice to know that the videos are actually reaching people who need the information. So it's really exciting. And I just love the fact that there is this space that that I can talk about and share, some of this information and some of this guidance that is coming through to me. So thank you so much for that. I'm also going to pop below some of the links to things like my website where you can go and generate a free human design chart. You can also join my Substack, which is a weekly newsletter, if you like, that I send out, but it's not really a newsletter. It's more like musings, which is something I just absolutely love. And I connect with a ton of people over there. I think there's loads of people over there, which is just a beautiful community. So if you see that link, then feel free to go over there. And of course, if you watch the video and you feel this might be of interest, do hit the subscribe button, simply because then I know that actually these videos are reaching you and we can continue to have this amazing conversation. So today I'm going to be talking about grounding energy in human design. And the reason I'd like to talk about this is because one of the most common themes that people are using human design for at the moment is to help people handle burnout. And so the first thing is that, for example, if you understand your energy type, then generally that's a pretty sufficient amount of information to help you with handling burnout in your life. So the first thing I'd like to talk about when it comes to something like burnout is its purpose. So I think burnout naturally comes from pushing ourselves and pushing ourselves into a place that is not fully aligned with who we are. And so that doesn't necessarily always mean overworking. So for example, if I take the manifesting generator energy type, a manifesting generator, the energy type requires you to actually lean into all of your passions. Do a million things if you have to in a day, right? But just love them all, do them all, anything that excites you. If you need to put some things down so you can start other things, then go ahead, give yourself permission to do it. And so you would think that looking at that energy type, gosh, if they keep going like that, they're going to burn themselves out. But I'm looking at it through the lens of a projector who isn't able to actually do that because I don't have access to life force and workforce energy consistently because my sacral center within my chart is undefined. It's white, right? Which means I'm borrowing my life force and workforce energy from the generators who are around me. And that's why, for example, with projectors, manifestors, and reflectors, we actually need to rest. And then when that burst of energy comes, we'll just get 100 things done in a very short space of time that might take generators a little bit longer to actually get done. And it's because we're borrowing that workforce and life force energy from someone. But if you look at something like a manifesting generator, which is the example I started with, if they actually don't burn their sacral, if they don't push themselves to actually do the things that they love and to meet themselves where they're at in terms of fulfilling their passions and expressing those passions and squeezing as much joy as they possibly can from those passions, they will burn out. So it's actually the act of doing nothing will actually burn out a manifesting generator, right? Which is completely the opposite than what we've been taught. We've been taught that the more we push, if we keep pushing and don't give ourselves rest, that we will burn out. But every energy type, and though there are five, there are obviously many unique combinations to do the energy types. But if you just take the energy types, there are five. And if you know which bucket you kind of fall in, which energy type you are expressing, right, then that will help you understand how your energy likes to be expressed. Okay. Now, this video isn't necessarily about burnout, right? I just wanted to start there and just explain that, where does burnout come from? And normally it's because you're not expressing your energy type in the best possible way, right? And so if you look at something like a projector, for example, oh my gosh, I could watch my manifesting generator husband go on and I just feel exhausted. I need to go to bed early at night. Okay, I just need to rest. I need to honor the fact that there are just times I would just feel tired. And it doesn't matter if I try and force myself to do something, it just doesn't get done. I'll just sit here and I'm twiddling my thumbs and I'm like, oh my gosh, because there's this innate desire in me, this innate conditioning that I must do in order to create. I must do. The more I do, the bigger the output's going to be. When actually that is absolutely conditioning, right? If I honor my projector energy and I embody my projector energy, then I honor how I am feeling. And if I'm not feeling in full spirit and I'm not feeling fully energetic, then I'll just take a moment. I'll go for a walk. I'll read a book. I'll just sit and do something else. I will rest my energy. And I absolutely know with certainty that when I do that, maybe a few hours later, or it could even be the next day, I'll suddenly have this just burst of like, right, now I'm going again. And I will get more done in those few hours than I would have done had I tried to push on my energy type and exhaust myself even further. And the thing is, if we think about the universe as well and energetically how it responds, if we are exhausted and we are burnt out and we are depleting our energy, then the universe is saying, look, there's a ton of good stuff here for you that I'd like to, give to you if you allow it, but I can't give it to you if you're not in the energy state of receiving. And the energy state of receiving isn't just I'm allowing, right? The energy state is sending out a signal from your energy type to say, I am ready to receive more. I feel rested. I'm ready. I'm excited. I can go. But the trouble is because we live in this materialistic world, there's so many demands on us, especially from a financial commitment point of view. And so we're like, no, we've got to keep going. We've got to keep going. We've got to keep going. When actually, for most of us, it's actually counterintuitive. And even for a generator, right? If you're a generator and you have generator energy, generators also need to be doing things that they love. And even if that's not something you can do 24 hours a day, because at the end of the day, we are humans living a soul experience, and our day is always filled with contrast. If you can give yourself something in your day that you love, that will also help infuse your energy, right? Because with generators, you need to be doing things that brings you a lot of joy, a lot of happiness, something you can connect with, something that lights you up. Because it's when you're connected and when you are lit up that we're then influenced, if you like, by that beautiful generator energy, and it picks us up as well. And so, even if like you're in a job and you're kind of like not really thriving, you're not finding it exciting, but actually you can have a hobby, or you could go and do something in the evening, like go and watch a film, or go and grab, I don't know, a coffee with a friend or something. And that is something that's joyful for you. That act of joy will bring and it will infuse your energy for everything else that you're doing. So it's really amazing. And I think this is why I'm so passionate about human design, because it isn't just, woo-woo stuff, and things like that. Human design is grounded in, yes, lots and lots of different ancient wisdoms, but also in neuroscience, right? And I feel like I'm saying that almost to justify that you should take it seriously because it's grounded in neuroscience. But I think what I want to say is that it's complex because it's grounded in neuroscience, because it's grounded in ancient wisdom, and it's made up of all these different modalities, and that there are so many different layers. If you speak to people who have been studying human design for years, they will express human design through a lens that feels right to them. For some people, they may talk about the transits, what's going on day to day. For others, they may talk about circuitry within human design and what you see within the body graph chart. For others, they may talk about the gifts, the energy types, for example. And some people will be able to take the fundamentals and be able to give you a really nice reading and to help you understand yourself a little bit more. And I don't say that lightly, because when I say understanding yourself, at the end of the day, it's only ever between you and you. Nothing else is your business. It's only ever between you and you. And nobody knows you better than you. But it isn't until you look at your human design chart and you start peeling back the layers that you start to realize that, hang on a minute, there's a story and a belief here that isn't really mine. It came from my mother when I was little. It came from my friend through an experience that they had. Oh no, gosh, somebody at work projected this onto me. It actually wasn't my stuff to hold. And you start to unpick these things. And then that's when you start to realize, well, hang on a minute, there's actually a depth to me that maybe I wasn't fully aware of before. Or these things that I've been feeling are actually perfectly fine. They're a beautiful thing that I should be holding within my energy and expressing who I am, Oh my gosh, I should be doing that unapologetically. I almost said that word. Right? And I think the other area of the human design chart, especially when it comes to grounding and stability, is the earth symbol. So when you pull up a human design body graph, and again, the link to being able to do that is in my comments. So feel free to go to my website. There are symbols down the side of the chart, and the earth symbol is there. It's the second symbol down. And earth is all about grounding, it's all about stability. And you will find that there are two sets of numbers. So on one side, it will be your design. On the other side will be your personality. Your design is essentially how you're showing up in the world, and your personality is pretty much your soul's expression. So one transcends to the other. That's how I look at it. So if I just use mine as an example, I have the gate 33 within my chart, within the earth side. Okay. And it's quite fun because it's also expressed in line 4. And the reason why this is so important is because gate 33, gift 33 is all about going inwards. It's all about silence. It's all about having moments where you are in contemplation by yourself. And as somebody who is very outwardly is a people person. I really enjoy talking to people. I mean, this morning I went off chatting to a lady about her dog, and my husband found me walking down the beach with her. It's like, who's that? I was like, I don't know, I just met her. So as somebody who does that, he's like, you talk to everyone. I was like, yeah, I do. And I'm happy to be that person, right? The idea that in order to be able to ground me, I've got to sit with myself. As a child, that was horrendous. I did not like my own company. But I've learned that as I have got older and as I've gained more and more experience, that actually it's those quiet times where I can be introspective, where I can be calm, is the moments where I will have clarity. It's the moments where I'm connecting to myself, where I'm creating flow, where I'm able to come up with ideas and, get in tune with how I'm feeling about something that's going on with my life, where I'm integrating maybe something that has happened recently. And it started to become more and more powerful for me. And because I have a defined head and a defined ajna, it's very busy up there for me. I'm always mentally processing stuff, right? And even though our head and our idea center is meant to be used to help others and not ourselves, we help ourselves by following our strategy and our authority, right? The gate 33 grounds me. It's in those moments when I'm able to sit with myself and I'm able to enter contemplation that I am able to feel grounded. I don't feel like, I'm being pulled in different directions. It doesn't feel messy. It doesn't feel like I'm overwhelmed. I'm stuck. I need those quiet moments. And I can promise you as well that that can sometimes be very difficult as well, because actually I'm just trying to get to the answer. And that's when I've really had to almost convince myself and teach myself that that isn't going to be the route that I should take in order to solve the problem that I'm trying to find a solution for, right? That I need to come back to my projector self. I need to come back to my splenic authority. I need to come back to my strategy of waiting to be invited. But I also need to take that moment where I lean into my gate 33. It's a gift. I've been given this gift. And the reason is because when I look at the rest of my chart, it makes complete sense that in order to ground myself so that all these other beautiful things can then happen in my life, it has to start at this point. The interesting thing as well is that my gate 33 is expressed through my line 4, which is actually all about your people side. It's all about, it's your people. It doesn't necessarily mean lots of people. It can be a person or a very small group, but it's also your community, right? So it's really interesting to me that it's actually my stillness needs to come. And then I think it's also needs to be expressed to my community, which is why it's really interesting because these videos tend to follow those moments for me. When I'm then talking to somebody about it or somebody's reached out and asked me and I think, gosh, nothing is a coincidence, but let's use the word. It's a coincidence. I was literally contemplating that, right? But the other beautiful thing as well is that that's part of how I live my life on the daily. But then when that transmutes to my soul expression, it then moves into the gate 24, which is all about rationalization and converting it into something logical. So there's a balance there in my earth where I'm grounded and I find stability between having this introspection and then being able to transmute it into something logical. So taking the fuzzy stuff that's like, ooh, right? And then moving it into something rational, something logical that I can then communicate when I am invited, when somebody comes to ask me. And always, 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 whenever I'm contemplating and I'm transmuting to something logical and rational, somebody always comes across my desk and kind of goes, oh, and I'm like, oh, I can help you with that. And I should tell you that I have gate 19 in my son, my conscious son, and 19 is very much the gate of approach. It's all about, helping people, supporting people, giving them what they need. And I have actually come to realize that is why life has given me such a huge, huge tool bag. And the reason I'm talking about all of this and I'm sharing it is because what I want to do is be able to show you in real life how you can use your human design chart on the day-to-day basis in order to be able to, help you understand who you are, but also give meaning to things, and help you to kind of ground yourself, especially in those moments where things feel a bit frantic, when you're feeling burnt out, when you're feeling stuck, when you just want to move. And there are also, other energies at play. So I may actually do a video on the universal laws because I love talking about universal magic. But there's also moments, within, the universal laws that when you understand the principles of the laws of the universe, you also realize that actually you need to be grounded in order to make sure that your energy then also resets so the universe can then deliver to you exactly what you have been asking for. And so it's really, really, really beautiful. I mean, I am so excited because I think human design works beautifully with astrology, yes, but it also works with other modalities, and also understanding how it works with universal magic in particular it has been life-changing for me. And also being able to use human design, not just in general life, but through the lens specifically of parenting, very much through the lens of business. If you know me, that's my passion. And being able to support and help people in this way, it just deepens everything. It deepens the way that you can teach, the way that you can share, the way that you can coach. It just deepens your understanding. And I just think there's nothing more beautiful than being able to meet somebody where they're at, right? And then just being able to offer them something that can help them. I mean, that is just the most beautiful thing that we can do. And that's actually what the hero's journey is about, really. That when you start on, the hero's journey from Joseph Campbell, when you start that journey and you go through all of the different stages, the aim is that the person that you start the journey as versus the person that you then complete the journey as tends to be a different person. And it's simply because as you go through all of those different steps, the people that you meet, the experiences that you have, the challenges that you face, i.e. the battles that you fight, all of those kind of things, what it does is every single step is giving you wisdom. Every single step is giving you experience. And so naturally, the person that you are when you reach the end of that particular chapter of that journey, you're going to be far more enriched with this information, with this knowledge, with this experience. And so then our job is to then share it, with your people or a wider platform if that's part of your blueprint as well. I mean, it's different for everybody. I always like to think of it as like all pieces of a puzzle and it all fits together beautifully. And I think that's really true. That's how like my logical brain over here processes it. But I think that's very true. I think we all have a puzzle piece, and in order to be able to fully express that puzzle piece for and create the best possible picture when it all comes together, the first place we need to start is with ourselves. So if you are curious about human design, please let me know. I'm shortly going to be releasing my human design course. I know there's lots and lots of them out there at the moment, but I really just wanted to do something that was accessible, that kind of covered, a lot of the things I talk about on this channel, but in a way that I hope that you can then use and embody. And as with everything, take what you want and leave the rest. Take what resonates. And if you've got any questions at all, please let me know and pop the comments below. And I really, really look forward to talking with you. Take care, everybody, and I send you much love. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.